Hello and welcome back. So as you can see, I finally got the battery charger out of the case. Did end up just pulling out the two bolts here, and that allowed this cable to come out, which gave me enough clearance to pull the whole assembly out. It did suffer some damage in shipping. We'll see. We'll see how bad it is. If you can imagine it sitting this way in the box, you can definitely tell that this guy got bent over. The other side is actually broke off. It's no longer attached, and I don't know if we can get in there. The pins have all broke too. On the 4 pins on the bottom row are all broken. The top 5 ones are intact, and that's what's holding on, and this side's still intact. So, it might be salvageable. Might be able to repair it. Maybe we'll see. I don't even know where you'd get this. Looks like a pretty custom looking waterproof DE9. Look around, see if I can find a replacement. If not, we'll see if we can repair it. The black plastic connector for this guy wasn't in the charger, so I need to get that. I got a list of everything that we're missing. If I get down like this, your eyes are not deceiving you. It is bent that way. So this is nice and straight, and this is bent the other way. Looks like, I don't know if you can tell, but see these little metal conductors here? They actually transfer power between the two boards. And see that the tin, this isn't normally exposed. Normally they sit perfectly on that square. And it looks like we tweaked, well, probably bent the board away, and it pulled all these over. So we're gonna have to loosen them all up and get them back on straight. This could have also been why it was so difficult to get the thing out. It went in somehow, but yeah, these have all been tweaked, so I have to loosen up all 8 of those screws and move them back. Hopefully we didn't like oblong the screw holes in there, but it almost has to have in order for it to move that much, because they're pretty tight fit. Yeah, what else do we got? The screws that hold the inductors in place were removed, and I'm not quite sure if it was already like this, but the potting compound on both the inductors is cracked. This one's cracked down here, and if I swap this around here, this one's got a crack running down the side. I don't know if that shows up. Oh wait, you know what we can do? There you go. So there's a crack running down the side here, so I don't know if it probably won't affect anything. I think it'll be okay. I mean, if you look, there's not like a gap between it and this. I mean, this is held in with solder joints from all of the diodes and IGBTs running down the whole sides, both sides of this thing. So it's not like this heat spreader could go anywhere. It's also bolted this way, so this little screw goes through a standoff, and then there's a threaded rod that comes through this way. So it's not like that could actually move. Now the inductors were floating around on their own, but they're in there pretty good. They got some pretty stout solder joints in there, so I don't think that damaged anything. And I looked at the joints. It doesn't look like any of these have like popped or anything, like the whole thing shifted. So that looks okay. Interestingly, the screw here was not installed. That got taken out. But I did find it. It is this one right here. So we do have that. But the problem with the actual problem with the charger is, I mean, you can see there's the magical spoke has been let out in between on the cap board. So the cap board's gone bad. You can tell. Let me get my pointer out here again. This joint has failed. It's got crusty stuff all over it. This is all like, I don't know. It's that, you know, smoke that's the magic smoke that's been let out all throughout there. These guys are swollen. Probably doesn't come across very well on the video. Maybe we can kind of tell, but they're bloated. So they're all bloated. See how, I don't know if you can tell, but see they can't wiggle at all. They're all kind of in there really good. Like normally like, see how these can wiggle still? They're not You know, they're not bloated to the point where they're like smashing into each other and they can still move. These guys are all solid, so they've all bloated. I don't know if you can look inside there, but you can see some of the, like that one way back there. Let me get the pointer again. Screwdriver, the one way back in here, you can see that one's gone bad too. It's got the stuff. Oh, and you can see the crack on the inductor here. That doesn't look like it's anything like important, so I think that'll be okay. I'm worried about how much this shifted. That worries me, and then also down here at the other side, this is probably bent too, so I have to go look at that. Yeah, definitely broke. The pins in here are definitely broken. They're not making contact anymore, so let's see if we can fix that. Screws wise, or parts, so these are the two I took out for here for this when I took that out, and we found the one that goes to, this one goes to the bridge rectifier, and then these two are the ones that go to the inductors, that hold the inductors in. I've got 5 out of the 6 hex bolts that hold the heat sink onto the heat spreader. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm missing one of those. I've got 15 out of 20 of the screws that hold the case on. There's some extra ones here. These ones, I don't know what these two go to. I don't think they're part of the charger. These two are the right thread, but they're not the right length for, but they appear to be replacements. You can see that they're not quite the same. They have different head style, so to replace those. So it's got the flathead and Phillips, whereas the other ones are just Phillips. So yeah, anyways, so missing 5 of these. Are also missing, we do have the 2, these are the 2 bolts that go into this, so we got them, if we can fix that. We have the washers that connect the these cables here that go out, the actual battery cables, they go onto here. And we've got the washers, but no nuts, and it appears that's what these guys are for. It had this brand new ones in here, but they're the wrong size. They don't fit at all. They're like, yeah, completely not the right size. So I have to go ahead and replace all those. But I think I've got enough to get it up and running. I think I have a replacement one of these floating around. Maybe. Actually, I could check really quick. In the drawer of metric bolts, because these are all metric. Yeah, I wonder if that... No, they look a little short. So I might have to make around... Yeah, they are. They are just a little short. About 1 millimeter too short. So, what about this guy? That might work. It's a little rusted. It's the right length. Is the head intact? Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Might be able to clean that up and use it. So, yeah, might be able to make something happen with that. Yeah, this is like my metric drawer for repairing things. But anyways, yeah, it doesn't look too horribly bad. See if we tweak it. Oh, yeah. One other thing I need to go through and check is everything on here. I think I'll replace these 2 guys. They got pretty scratched up by the case, and they're the actual capacitor inside the metal is showing. So both those are 0.1s. And then I don't know if it was me when I was taking it out or when it got put in, but all these pins got bent over, and you can see how some of them are like really close to shorting out. So I'll go through and fix some of that. There was somewhere on here, yeah, like right up here, it's like a electrolytic. This is one of the main power supplies, and those guys are shorted out. So I'll go ahead and fix all of that. And then, yeah, hopefully we get this thing up and running. Probably end up replacing the that capacitor board because it looks like it smoked internally. Actually, surprised none of these usually explode. They're on their way out. I mean, they're getting pretty bloated. I don't know if that comes across on the camera or not, but how it's not flat. It goes. Yeah, it's pretty bloated. But anyways, we'll see if we can get it up and running. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.